Did you know that coffee comes from a plant? It actually comes from a cherry plant and therefore it's natural. And so if it's natural, does that mean it has any health benefits to it? Well, actually, yes, it does. And in this video, I want to explore and go through the top 6 health benefits of coffee that I could find, which will hopefully help you to start drinking coffee or give you a reason to start drinking coffee if you don't already. But if you do, hopefully it will help you to enjoy it better and never have to feel guilty drinking it. And I have to admit that I was quite surprised about the significance of these health benefits with coffee. So I think this is going to be a very, very interesting one. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining. My name's Steven, if you don't know me already, and in this video, we're going to be talking coffee. It is estimated that around 75% of the population drink coffee every single day. It is an extremely popular beverage, and around 1.4 billion kilos of coffee is drunk every single year. Now, I mentioned it's natural. Now, obviously there is a little bit of processing that goes through with coffee. You've got the extraction process, and then the beans have to be washed, and then they are typically roasted, and then we grind the beans to then put hot water through to then get the cup of coffee as we know it. But what are the benefits of this? Well, the first thing to say is it's packed full of nutrients, particularly B vitamins, so the B2, B3, and B5. And then B vitamins, in essence, is essential and important for your nervous system, as well as your metabolism. So it actually helps you to extract the energy from the food that you take into your body. It's also very high in magnesium. I've gone through in my previous videos on the benefits of magnesium. The big thing with magnesium is it has over 300 functions in the body. Most of them are in the nervous system, particularly important for muscle function and reducing migraines and reducing depression, loads of things like that. You can check out my video if you haven't already. But most of us tend to be deficient in magnesium, and so coffee is a good source of at least getting some of those levels. Coffee is also high in potassium. Pretty much every cell is going to rely on potassium, and it's particularly important for your muscles and your heart muscles, so therefore good for maintaining proper heart function. And lastly, coffee is high in antioxidants. Antioxidants have a strong role in reducing the free radicals that run around in your body that can contribute to cancer. Number 2, coffee can help to boost your metabolism. It's actually been shown to boost what we call your resting metabolic rate. This is the amount of energy you're going to be burning at rest. And it's been shown that those that drink coffee or having a cup of coffee can boost this anywhere between 3 and 11%. That's actually a fairly significant amount. And the coffee, through increasing adrenaline in your body, can also encourage the breakdown of fat cells in your body. So actually, it can be quite a good thing to drink if you're trying to lose weight. The thing about the resting metabolic rate is that if you're having it regularly, and particularly at high amounts, your body will acclimatize to the amount that you have. And so if you really want to maximize these effects, I will suggest that you have an irregular amount of coffee, and perhaps not even having it every day. Now, we all have different types of coffee, and we all have different amounts. Put in the comments below what you have, what is your favorite type of coffee, and how much coffee do you have in one day? Because in my next video, and I'm going to explain this more at the end, I'm going to go through how we can maximize the benefits that I'm going through now, but I'm going to explain this a little bit later. And number 3, coffee can help improve exercise performance. This is actually being well studied, and it's because of the caffeine inside the coffee. So there's one particular study, got one group of people to take caffeine and the other group of people to take a placebo caffeine. And what they looked at was how their exercise performance changed between the two groups. And they basically found that those that took caffeine were able to lift heavier weights and had a better sprint performance. They've also shown a better time to exhaustion. So the amount of time it takes for you to get exhausted after an exercise was improved with those taking caffeine, and therefore they had better endurance. Now, this was particularly looked at with those taking around 200 milligrams of caffeine. So that's around 2 cups of coffee per day. Now, before I go through number 4, if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please can I invite you to do that by hitting the subscribe button below. It certainly helps to boost this channel and help me to make better videos for you. Thank you so much. Now, number 4 is it helps to improve brain health. This has also been well studied. It can help to boost your focus and your mood and your concentration. Now, I think one of the main mechanisms behind this is through how caffeine affects a chemical in your body called adenosine. Adenosine is essentially a chemical that will build up for when you wake up in the morning, and you will have more and more adenosine the longer you are awake until you get to the evening and you feel very tired, and it helps you then to go to sleep. So the more adenosine, the more tired you're going to feel. The way that caffeine works is it actually blocks adenosine, so it reduces the build-up of it and therefore makes you feel less tired, which is going to make you feel more energetic, give you more focus and concentration. The thing you have to remember though is that you are borrowing energy. You're not actually getting the energy, you're just feeling more energetic, which is why you can feel more focused. So if you have to do a particular task or performance, this is a great way of getting that in the short term. And number 5, I think this is probably my favorite one, and this is the most interesting one, is that, believe it or not, it can help you live longer. And they found this with all types of coffee, including decaffeinated coffee. So it doesn't look like it's necessarily the caffeine that leads to this. So the study where they looked at this, they were comparing instant, decaf, and ground coffee, and then non-coffee drinkers. And they found that in all the coffee groups, there was a reduction in mortality rates. So people were dying basically at a lesser age. So there's an association study, and so basically they found that those drinking coffee tended to live a little bit longer. Now, there was a difference for the type of coffee that they had. Instant coffee had an 11% reduction in mortality. Now, when we went to decaf, that was a 14% reduction. But interestingly, the one that surpassed that way beyond, which actually didn't surprise me too much, was the ground coffee, the fresh coffee. And as you can imagine, this is really the better quality coffee, and therefore you would imagine it should give you better benefits. And in this study, it did, because those that were taking the ground coffee, they found that they had a 27% reduction in mortality. So that's really quite incredible, just from drinking coffee. So you can actually extend your life through drinking coffee, or at least it appears that you can. Now, lastly, number 6 is that it can actually help to reduce disease. Many different diseases. We've seen associations with many different diseases, a reduction of many different diseases and coffee. So one of them is cancer, and one of the mechanisms will be with what I mentioned earlier with the antioxidants, but we've also seen a reduction in heart disease. Now, interestingly, and I think this is true pretty much for all of these benefits, is that you only really get them if you're having the caffeine or the coffee in moderation. In excess, particularly with this one study with where they saw a reduction in heart disease, when people had it in excess, they actually had an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. So in moderation, it can reduce cardiovascular disease. And then we've also seen a reduction in type 2 diabetes. We think that's primarily because of the reduction of inflammation that occurs in your body, that then helps to reduce the effect that has on insulin sensitivity. Now, the thing is, as I alluded to earlier, you're not really going to get these benefits if you're not having the correct type of coffee and done in the best way. You will still get some benefits, but if you want to optimize this, then there is a particular way and a particular type of coffee that can help to maximize this. And it's not just the quantity of coffee that you have that's important, although that is important. It's estimated around 300 milligrams is going to be the cutoff point, but this is very variable from person to person. But the type of coffee will also matter, because there is a dark side to coffee. There are some harmful effects, but if you have coffee in a particular way, you can really reduce these harmful effects. And this is what I'm going to go through in my next video. So if you're watching this on the release date, then I'm going to be releasing this video a few days afterwards. So I'm going to put this video here as soon as that's out. If you're watching this early, then I'm going to just put a video that YouTube will recommend for you here. And so I'm going to either see you on this video or on my next one. And if the video is not there yet, just make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when that comes out. See you next time. Bye-bye.